I wanted to be an astronaut.
So can we actually go to the moon?
We went to moon, but they lost some papers for building rockets. The rockets were falling down in a free fall, and no one knows where it's gonna fall down.
There's only been 500 people in space. Why so little?
Almost $500,000. If you have it, you can just fly to space.
So what's an International Space Station? Why do we need it?
We try to grow plants in moon gravity and also in Mars gravity. Space tourism is also a big growing industry in the future.
I could imagine. We've discovered a new planet.
What happens in the black hole is like nothing. It's almost nothingness.
So you're guessing there could be some flights next year?
And maybe Mars on 2035.
Do you believe in all the conspiracies?
Maybe, who knows, we are living in a simulation.
So they say that we came out of a black hole.
Elon Musk is so random sometimes.
Maybe he has nothing to do in watching Alex show from Lithuania.
BetSafe kazino.
Dalyvavimas azartiniuose lošimuose gali sukelti priklausomybę.
Pirk čas ir vairuok bensā. Taves laukia net 707 prizai. Tik šie savaitė 20% nuolaidą kodu ALEX20. Nekramtik nagu, otraškink čas. Čas.lt.
Papildai sportui numeris 1. Užsuk į mūsų internetinę parduotuvę humanperformance.lt ir išsirink sau tinkamus.
So Giri, nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming. It's actually a very new topic for me to discuss, which is space, but it's not new to you.
Yeah, it's not quite new to me. I've been, working, I would say I've been working on myself for last 6 or 7 years to be in having a place in the industry, space industry itself. So it's a quite, challenging industry. So
why is it challenging?
Because, in Lithuania, we don't even have a proper environment for space. And even if you see the Lithuanian Space Agency, we have very less number of people here who are interested in space, especially. So, yeah, it's quite, like hard to network in the Baltics. So, yeah.
Yes, it's quite rare, for people to be here to say like, oh, I'm studying something related to space, or I'm working in a company that's space related. So you said Lithuanian Space Agency. I just actually heard it for the first time that we have one. So what is Lithuanian Space Agency? Do you work there?
No, I don't work there. Actually, I have my own startup called Cosmobus. We are a small space networking platform based on UK. Mm-hmm. And we are trying to establish here in Lithuania soon. And, not only in Lithuania, I would say all over Europe, all over the world, if possible. we are trying to develop a networking platform where, people from space can engage, share their knowledge, and also share their business networks, which can be really helpful for networking and bringing in people together.
Yes, I'm on the website right now. So it's a great cause, obviously, and I think you've mentioned me in messages that you're trying to create something like LinkedIn for space people. Yeah. So did you manage to get any customers, any members?
Oh yeah, we right now have around 70 plus members. It's not a big number, I would say, but still we have good engagements in LinkedIn and also in my personal platform. What we do is we are trying to connect the people from educational industry, educational and in a professional space industry as well. These two formats are totally different, right? Like people from education really don't go specific on space when they know how to work or towards a subject, especially when it comes to space. They can help with the specialization, for the students itself, to focus on their topics and help them as well. So this is what which we are trying to currently build, and also we are trying to work with business to business. Business to business, what it comes is because there will be two different businesses. One person will be designing a satellite, and they don't have know how to launch it into space. A lot of universities have their own prototype, and they don't know how to launch it into space.
Satellites?
Yeah, small satellites. It's like cubes, like small cubes.
How small?
Satellites can be, like the Rubik's cube. It's similar to that, and even more smaller. I know people who designed picosats.
What's that?
Picosats is like it's even more smaller than a CubeSat. It's more like 5 centimeters, which looks like a square.
Yeah, so they just launched that into space, and it gives what signal?
Those ones are collecting weather and also thermal imaging, and also like
For meteorologists.
Meteorologists, and also they make small pictures as well. It's possible to make pictures. If you've seen electronic boards, even in one of our mobile phones have a small electronic board, and it can take pictures. And
from space.
Yeah, from space.
Yes, I've seen a picture. I think yesterday I was researching. I'll show you one picture. So I found this operational satellites by function.
Oh,
That's a good one. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. And
so yeah, what looking at this, what can you say? So it says that there are more than 1,000 satellites right now. 40% of them are used for commercial. Just 3% for the meteorology, which we just discussed, yeah?
Yeah.
Scientific, military surveillance, navigation, research and development, remote sensing, government communication, but basically communication, right? Communication, 50%. Also, I found this, satellites in orbit. You can have a look. United States, how many has?
That would
USA,
be really good.
India, I think, yeah.
Yeah, you can see the key players are US and also India and Russia as well. Europe, we have 12, and we have a lot of funds from Europe, but utilizing it is really important here. Even in Lithuania, we have a lot of fundings opening from European Business Incubation Center, but a lot of people don't know how the process works, and they are a little bit afraid to go in front and put their project.
And ask for money, you mean?
Ask for fundings, basically. It's like, beneficial for Europe as well. Space tourism is also a big growing industry in the future, where big companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic, they are trying to send people as tourists in space. And
basically a sky scanner for space, yes?
Yeah, sky scanner for space, but they focus on millionaires right now with an NDA.
And with some money.
With some money, but we cannot know, They don't declare the money they get from the millionaires. That's something, we need to know.
They don't get what?
They don't fix a price.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. But Virgin Galactic, I think 450,000. Recently, they made it public.
$500,000.
Almost $500,000. If you have it, you can just fly to space and...
basically book and reserve a seat?
Yeah.
Found yesterday that there's only been 500 people in orbit or in space. Is that number correct? And why so little?
Almost that much only, because we also need to understand the human biology of
Can you explain?
Human biology, how the human body works. Sometimes space is not for everyone. Sometimes people cannot experience the G-force here. And if you really want to experience those kind of things, there is a centrifugal thing in Poland.
And you vomit.
Oh yeah, we can. if you can sustain, if you cannot, vomit, and if your body is really capable, you can try it in Poland.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a simulation center in Warsaw Military Institute.
You also are an analog astronaut.
Yeah.
So as I understand, you also have to participate in these simulated environments.
Yeah. I'm thinking of trying this year. Before that, I'm thinking of planning to go for a scuba diving in a deepest pool in Europe. There is a swimming pool in Poland.
That's how they prepare for going up?
Oh, yeah.
Scuba diving is one of the ways?
Yeah, it's more of a similar way how they operate.
So scuba dive, centrifuge, something created, right?
Yeah. It's like centrifugal force is mainly focused when you're lifting off the rocket, because the G-forces you experience during liftoff is extreme. And if you see the escape velocity is around 11,000 kilometers. So it's
People die often in this the launch of the rocket.
no. I think like only few people have died during the Columbia incident because of some failure in the rocket systems itself, not because of the G-force. But there is a high risk of like when people are landing back the rocket, it can create more problems. It's like you need to be more precise when landing the rocket because it's like riding a kite with no brakes or no brakes. You almost have no balance to stop it, but you have to like calculate the orbital mechanics and just try to land it on the right time.
Yeah, I've seen videos where Elon Musk was able to land his rockets, and this was something done for the first time in space industry because then it showed that you can reuse rockets, right?
Yeah.
And this was one of the reasons why space never actually got so popular because of the funding and money required to build this stuff and launch and then burn and then build again. But Elon Musk did something different, right? He was able to find a way to use the rocket once again.
Yeah, Elon he used the basic principle of just throwing back a stick and bringing back and keeping it together. Like, I think it's a basic principle, same like gimbal, which we use in cameras. It's like self-positioning systems where you use the rocket propellers, rocket motors to just land back correctly. He just used like object detection and multiple sensors, and I think Elon has the best team of engineers to build that. And I think it's all about the dedication as well of Elon's team.
What else inspires you from Elon or other team?
I would say Elon's team is really working amazing with all these Starlink. Starlink, if you see, is also like their
satellites.
Satellites. Those
for 5G.
Yeah, the 5G ones. I mean, like they are just trying to provide high-speed internet, almost accessible everywhere in the world. This can be also helpful for us, like to have unlimited data anywhere. You just pay for it once, and you can get data anywhere, right?
But what's the difference before? I used to have 3G, 4G, and everything seemed to be fine. I go to a country, somehow always had internet.
It's I would say it's different situations in a lot of developing countries. Let's say my homeland in India. There are some locations where we don't get a proper signal
because no cables.
Not only because of cables, it's like lack of telephone networks. The signals
providers.
Providers. I mean, we have providers, but the accessibility to every nook and corner can be made with satellites, but not with normal current cell phone antennas. Where they give signals. So it's quite really important for us to have internet because there are a lot of people died in the middle of the forest with no connectivity, even though they had charge in their phones.
And died. Why? Because they needed help and they couldn't.
Yeah, they couldn't reach.
Help.
Yeah,
and
that's the problem.
Got
right?
lost and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you think Starlink is a great internet option for countries where there's bad internet?
Yeah.
But for example, in Lithuania, there used to always be good internet, very good internet, and right now there's also 5G.
Yeah.
So Lithuania is not a developing. I mean, it's developing country, obvious, but it's a little different. So what's the benefit for Lithuania then? I see the benefit for India or Ukraine, for example, or I don't know, African countries. But what about Lithuania?
For Lithuania, actually, we already have enough networks. The main focus for Elon, what he is doing is like to democratize internet. Make it more free for everyone, to make sure that it's accessible for everyone all across the globe. And whatever he is doing is like he's going behind each country's government and asking for the permission to activate Starlink. I think 2021 we got it activated in Lithuania, somewhere on 2021 or 2022. I don't remember the date exactly.
And how did Lithuania win? Well, we have a faster internet or what?
Yeah, we already have a faster internet here, and also in Sweden as well. It's like every year we have a competition between Lithuania and Sweden for the fastest internet.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I think it was easy for him to get access because the governments were more friendly towards all this kind of paperwork. So it was really easy for him to get here.
Let me show you
also-
one picture while I was saying.
Yeah.
I saw this one, Elon Musk Starlink train.
Oh yeah.
I think this is when he was sending all of these.
Yeah, it was when he was sending all of this, and also the astronomers community really didn't like it because when you see see the stars in the night sky,
Yeah, I don't know if they can see.
Yeah.
It. They will see.
yeah, they will probably see it.
They will see it. Yeah, it looks like it looks something I've never seen in the space. You know.
Yeah.
Have you worked with him?
No, actually, I used to listen to a lot of his, like speeches. And one time I happened to meet him in a call, like where they had a Mars Society conference, and I was a part of the conference, but I was not able to, like talk with him. But we had a Q&A section where we can ask questions with Elon.
That's someone you should get to Cosmo Buzz. I think he would
Yeah.
add a little more new members to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to reach out Elon as well. Elon, if you're seeing this, just
Yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe he has nothing to do and watching Alex show from Lithuania. Why not? Yeah,
we don't know, Elon Musk is so random sometimes. So
I've read a lot of space junk and space trash, which is
Yeah.
like a lot. If you just combine it, there's a lot of space junk in the cosmos. So is it because of bad satellites and crushing? They can collide, no?
yeah, they can collide, but so far we don't have that much of big incident so far.
Mm.
But there are like a lot of satellites. When it's a responsible person, like if a person is working on a responsible project,
Mm-hmm.
they deorbit the satellite. It's like the trash orbit, where they just bring the satellite down to a little bit from their from their orbit, and they leave it on the trash orbit basically.
Yeah.
Right now, European Space Agency is also focusing on clearing all those space debris.
How do you clean? You send something to collect?
Actually, yeah, there are some projects right now going on. Like I think NASA recently bought funded a project to clean all those space debris.
A real problem, no?
Yeah, it's a
Because
real
it's just floating,
yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
yeah, it can be a real problem also in the future when people are trying to go to space, and if it's like a bigger space junk, it's gonna travel in like thousands of kilometers speed per second.
It will hit like a bullet.
It will hit like a bullet, and it can damage the whole spacecraft itself if the particle is very big.
Yeah, so spacecraft itself. So what's the problem right now? Why can we be sending, people to space right now? What's stopping?
The bigger thing is the budget.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like to build a rocket, it's gonna cost a lot of money.
How much? Billion?
Almost $1 billion, let's say. $400 to $500 million.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is that the most expensive thing you can actually build in the world? Could be one of
could
them.
be one of them. Could be one of them.
Mhm.
Maybe
Just one rocket. Huh?
Yeah, just one rocket.
So 1 billion to build, and obviously if you build something for 1 billion, you don't want it to break soon. And you want
Yeah.
it to come back.
Yeah.
But so what's the problem? Is building more of these rockets? Because there is, for example, if there's one rocket available right now, why can't we be kind of testing and sending the first monkeys off?
Oh yeah. Actually, we are sending people to the SpaceX's station, International Space Station, for research.
Yes.
Soon there is going to be Artemis missions to Moon as well.
So
And
International Space Station, is that the furthest we can go right now?
right now we went to Moon, but after 1970s we are not going anymore for
Why?
some reason.
You can also. What's your opinion?
I think it's because of
Funding?
Funding is a big problem, and also in the spacecraft which they sent humans, I heard that a few of the documents were lost, like on how to build it. Yeah, I was talking to one of the people in Poland actually. That person was explaining this situation where they lost some papers for building rockets, and it just bought like
And they said, okay, let's finish. That sounds like a good reason not to go to work, or
yeah. But the scientists involved on that time were like really savage, and they just it was everything was perfect to go to moon when they built the first rocket, and
in 70s.
yeah, in the 70s.
Because I have also this chart. I actually found some good charts yesterday preparing. This is a chart, NASA budget
yeah,
as percentage of federal budget basically funding. So in 60s, 70s, there was a lot of money going into the space exploration,
yeah.
and then everything obviously went down. So firstly, do you believe in all the conspiracies that it's fake and blah, blah, blah?
So I don't believe in all those conspiracies because people have been working hard for years and years to build a project. Usually it takes 5 to 10 years almost to complete a project in space.
Yeah.
And if they have to lie, it's easy for them to say, oh, we secretly sent a mission and humans are here. But like people are working hard, and there are pictures of people working in their labs to show what they are doing, and there are stories about their fathers, and like some people see their as fathers and the teachers as their heroes for building all these missions. So I don't believe on those conspiracies. Maybe aliens, yeah. There is a possibility of life in some other planet, but
Really?
I don't believe on UFOs or.
No, me too. I'm not a big alien. I mean, if I see something about aliens or UFOs, I usually just skip.
Yeah.
But okay, let's say, let's stick to something that we know, which is International Space Station. Also very interesting. I saw a video where a lady from USA, she was showing basically floating around and showing, oh, here's the toilet, here's that, here's we're exercising. So what's an International Space Station? Why do we need it?
There are some experiments which cannot be done on our Earth. For example, when I was in the analog habitat, we tried to grow plants in moon gravity and also in Mars gravity. So which, the plants grow very differently according to gravitational situations.
So just the gravity difference?
Yeah, gravity creates a lot of difference in the plant's growth.
So in what way? Faster or slower, or are different types of plants come out?
No, like the way how they grow is also different. In moon gravity, it's like the plants will be growing towards the backwards of the root itself. And in Mars gravity, it's like slightly slanting.
So can we actually go to the moon?
Yes.
Right
probably
now?
2025, 2026. Already we have some things going on in space industry where people are trying to build the rockets.
Yeah.
And trying to fit in people for moon mission. So
moon is the first destination, you think?
Yeah. Moon is our first destination. Maybe Mars on 2035. That's my guess, I'm not giving exact numbers, but...
So you're guessing there could be some flights next year to the moon?
Not next year, maybe 2025.
No, like a year or two.
Yeah.
Really, that soon?
It could be that soon.
So me and you would just pay $500,000 each and let's fly to the moon.
Not space tourism, but if we guys are fit and if we guys have enough money, yeah, why not?
I mean, to me, it all sounds like a big, a big, risky, adventurous in terms of space. How did you get involved?
Okay, it's quite a long story, From my young age, I wanted to be an astronaut.
It's kind of a similar story to all astronauts.
Yeah, kind of similar stories, yeah.
Yeah, it's like at early age, you have a big dream.
Yeah.
But where did the dream come from?
This dream, I used to look at the sky all the times and wonder what's going on in the sky. And at my period, we had a lot of, things happening in space, especially. People were talking about space, the comets, and also I think NASA launched some rocket to Mars as well, and it just changed my whole perspective about space industry and space journey. I thought like humans were already on the moon. Why not Mars then? At that time I was talking about this with my friends about
In where? In India?
in India actually. Some friends believed that it's gonna be possible. Some even made fun of me. But now like people are really they just some people reach me back and they said, "Oh, you are right."
You're right on what?
I was right about the Mars missions that sending humans to Mars, because right now people are talking about it more. At that time, they were not talking about it.
So you had this dream. So did you study for it, or did you work for it, or how did you end up basically here? Because
So yeah, my parents, when I said I want, like, I'm interested in space, they used to buy me a lot of encyclopedias. Like, I have a lot about space encyclopedias, like in my home back in India, and also I got a telescope. Like they were supporting me most they can, as much as they can, and yeah, that's how I slowly started growing my interest in space, and it created more support from my family, and also my friends were like really they said, "Oh, you're gonna do it someday." And
yeah, but you were promising what? Mom, I'm gonna fly to space?
I didn't say that I'm gonna fly to space,
Oh,
but
what was so what's your kind of goal? What was you? I mean,
at first, like I'm more interested in space, probably more into astronomy. Astronomy was my first interest.
yeah.
Then I wanted to check what's going on, and a little bit more curious. Then I was like, used to see this advertisements about people looking for astronauts, and especially NASA is looking for astronauts. Like, then I just Googled it, and it says, "Oh, you're from a different nationality, and you cannot fly to space." So these are the things which
This was the criteria.
like every country can send only the person from their home country, like a natural citizen of their country, to space. And that's why I was saying, Elon changed the whole game.
So this part.
This part was, very crucial for me.
So, for example, if I'm Lithuanian, I could only fly before, just with the Lithuanian rocket, if there was one.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, before it was, like that. Right now, Lithuania is also a part of European Space Agency since last year. So it's possible to have some Lithuanian in space soon as well, if they can.
I'm looking right now at this part of the engine. So this is the part where all the flames come out.
Flames come out, yeah.
So how does it work? It goes off, then one of the parts is released.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of just getting smaller and smaller. And how long would it take? How many hours or days would it take to get to the International Space Station? For example, if me and you right now had a rocket and we just like, yeah, let's fly there.
So 24 to 48 hours, actually.
So a quick one.
Yeah, I would say it's a quick one. It's just, like 400 kilometers away.
But I read there is one level in the space that is basically difficult to reach. Or what is the name of it? Orbit. 1 second. Can you explain why is it difficult to kind of pass that level? Could all the
Earth's escape velocity. Actually, we are just surrounded by gravity, and we need to like have 11,000 kilometers speed to get out of the Earth's atmosphere. So it's just that's the hardest part to get out in the Earth. Then you also need to like have proper orbit with the rocket. If you're trying to plan for like a long journey to Moon or to Mars, you have to save the fuel as well. Once you shoot the rocket, it's gonna be in the same speed because space is vacuum, right? It's like you don't have air or anything. Like you just properly shoot the rocket and it's gonna go to the destination correctly. But it's all about controlling the rocket, keeping it controlled, and balance is also important in space because there will be big rocks and big debris. So dodging them is really important too. So
So who's dodging? Someone sitting at the front or someone sitting in the navigation kind of center?
It's someone sitting in the front, I would say. It's navigation in the front. Actually, every rocket has a main commander.
Commander.
Yeah, commander, and the communications officers are really important for a spacecraft. So they just, calculate it and avoid all this. They can either do it lifetime, but usually everything is calculated and pre-programmed to avoid all this, comets and debris, meteoroids.
I could imagine. We've discovered a new planet. Boom. Much further than Pluto, for example, right? Possible. Because we can see much further than Pluto. So why there is no more? And why these 8?
There are some planets which are farther than Pluto. There was something called Iris and Tintin. But, scientists usually have this argument whether we need to add them as a planet or no. So,
and what's the difference? Just what we discussed before. If it's a planet, you can potentially live.
Like have some kind of minerals or some kind of atmosphere around it. It's called a planet. And if it's not, it's just a rock.
For example, I've read that in Mars you can find potentially some water.
Yeah, there is a possibility
ice.
to find water and ice.
That's important, obviously, for growth, right? Because, And, for example, in other planets, what can you find?
For example,
just fire.
Yeah, I have this interesting in Venus. Yeah, actually, the atmosphere is around volcanic molten rocks.
Venus, yeah.
Yeah, in Venus. I have this interesting satellite called Europa. If you have not seen, maybe you can try to search. It's one of the Jupiter satellite, if I'm not wrong.
Jupiter satellite.
Europa. It's called Europa. Yeah.
So it means Europa.
It's one of the moons of Jupiter, actually.
This one, Europa.
Yeah. This has a high potential of living things, I would say, because it has some quite interesting data. I read few books and articles about this. Right now, it's not that much popular in space community, but I wish they will send a satellite to check on this.
On this Europa.
On this Europa.
In my circle, for example, I've never heard anyone, be too enthusiastic about space or study or to work. You're the first person who really knows a lot. So I would guess there's just not a lot of people for you to even search for, because someone who is not interested in space, they're not gonna sign for your networking, and someone who is interested is just a small group of people, I guess.
Yeah, there are
at least here.
At least here in Lithuania, very less people, and also I would say.
How did you end up also in Lithuania?
Okay, let's say I took a wrong flight.
Yeah. It looks like.
Nah, I was just planning to apply for Dansk University and also in KTU in Kaunas. So I got offer from KTU very quick, and the people were really friendly here in Lithuania, and the migration process was really simple than Poland. If you know, it's like quite, busy country with the migration and documents. Lithuania seemed very helpful with all the process and hassle-free visa process for students. So it was one of the easiest countries for me to get into Europe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, and when I came here, I saw there was nothing in space. I thought there is something, like even a space club, a small club in the university.
Yeah.
There was almost nothing.
Yeah.
Then after 1 or 2 years, 2018, there was something in the international space forums, about World Space Week. So I just took the responsibility, and I became the national coordinator for World Space Week in Lithuania for the first time here in this whole country. And I was 19 at that time, and one of the youngest national coordinators to organize some events for World Space Week in Lithuania.
Yeah.
That was,
So you're pioneering space topic in Lithuania.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone is interested in space, please feel free to write me.
Yes. Yes.
People always think that space is only rocket science and the serious set of people. There are people in space who are talking about space law. And
what's
space
that?
tourism.
You've mentioned today space law.
Space law is basically like creating regulations for space. As you were saying about earlier, this debris. some people are really not responsible and just dumping into the orbits. Sometimes some satellites, they keep it rotating around the orbit, but they don't put it back, after the period of time. Every satellite has a lifetime, expiry date. They have to push it down to the orbit, the garbage, the dump yard orbit, but they don't do that. And those are the set of laws. People are working on those kind of laws to work on, to create some kind of paperwork where we can just say to the companies strictly to bring back them down to the orbit, or else you're going to be fined, or you're going to be you're going to have a lawsuit or something.
So right now I would guess there's not a lot of regulation.
Not to get much political here, but if you've seen in last, China did something suspicious 3 times about bringing back the rocket, and they did not have the projection path. The rockets were falling down in a free fall, and no one know where it's gonna fall down. I think 2 times it ended up in the middle of Pacific.
Just fell down.
Yeah, just fell down. It's just, like some random debris from space. Imagine falling down on your backyard. No one wants that, right?
No.
And China is they don't give exact data on where is it falling. And they say it's going to fall down safely. But where it's going to fall, come on. The problem is it goes around the orbit for 3 days. People will be waiting, there are people tracking about this in US. I saw some of my friends.
I'm sure for security, no?
Yeah.
So for people, I guess many people would be asking, what's a black hole?
Yeah.
So they say that we came out of a black hole, which happened after the Big Bang, or black hole, Big Bang, 14 billion years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about it? And why do we keep saying that we are in 2000 whatever? When we should be saying we are in 14 billion year whatever. Right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
And how did is this theory you agree with, how we all are here?
I kind of agree with the theory because everything started with a big explosion. Universe is also expanding. So sometimes we don't have much explanation going on. I see a lot of scientists are working on it, but black holes, these are just void space. So these black holes, what happens in the black hole is nothing. It's almost nothingness. And some people say it acts like a vacuum cleaner for space by just swallowing everything around it. Yeah. Some people also propose the timeline theory, which is in Interstellar. If you see the movie Interstellar,
I did not. I know the movie. Is this something I should watch?
Maybe you should watch.
I don't usually watch the
science fiction.
Yes, yeah, but this one, good one.
Yeah, it's really a good one. It's I heard that they made 2 thesis papers with this movie itself.
They did
because
what?
of this movie.
They did what?
They wrote 2 research papers because of this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Based on the movie and ideas?
Based on the movie and ideas, yeah. And Nolan had worked with real-time scientists to simulate the whole black hole in the movie itself.
And even the Big Bang theory, right? With black hole theory is not 100%.
That's not 100%. We never know, sometimes, yeah. It's more deeper, maybe who knows, we are living in a simulation.
That's also a theory, right?
Yeah. That's also a theory. Or sometimes it's more void, sometimes I feel some things doesn't make sense, but
yeah, me too.
But we are just surviving, existing.
But what if you don't get the chance to fly into the space? What would you like to do within the industry?
I will keep inspiring more people and also start contributing towards the research projects in space. That's something I want to make sure that the future generations will be able to fly to space.
So do you think we need that? What's the point of flying to space? Just for fun?
Not only for fun. We don't have a plan B, as Elon usually says. What if there's a big natural disaster or something? We don't have the whole human race won't be existing.
Yeah, I mean, I know his kind of reasoning,
Yeah.
but for you,
I have the same kind of reasoning, like I want humans to be multi-planetary beings.
what's the point for you?
That's the point for me as well, because I want to see humans across different planets, make sure that humans are existing everywhere, so that we as human beings create a signature, at least in the solar system.
Well, we've done one with the Earth, no?
Only
A
one,
big signature.
only one. Maybe Earth will won't exist after thousands of years or
He
millions
also
of years.
said, I mean, he also mentioned an interesting fact. Okay, let's say we send you, me, Dennis, we get some girls, we get some more people.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, he mentioned a number which is about 1 million people to be able to actually run
Yeah.
a civilization in anywhere. So that's his goal, right? To transport about 1 million people and to make them work and live there, right?
Yeah.
So you would would you want to be one of the first 1 million people to go there and actually live there and say, okay, you don't have a chance to come back, but you will have a chance to live there. Would you go?
Yeah, I will.
Mm.
No hesitation,
no
no flinching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dennis, do you have any questions, Dennis?
Yeah, one more, Dennis, come on.
Yeah, you can.
You know something about the string theory?
String theory?
In physics, string theory is a theoretical framework in which the point-like particles of particle physics are replaced by one-dimensional objects called strings.
Or maybe it's about the wormhole which we are talking about, where they go into the wormhole in the movie itself. They go into a wormhole. Actually, like space is time. Space-time is you can bend the space-time, and you can get from one place to another place within a matter of seconds.
Yeah, but what does it actually mean?
It can
Bending
reduce
space and time.
Yeah.
Because this is space, right? We have space.
Yeah, this is a space, and if you bend this table, I can get from this point to this point within very less. Like
What do you mean bend the table?
like the universe is always in a straight line. If you bend it and you create a circle, you can get from point A to point B within a matter of seconds. Rather than let's say I'm a small object. If I'm walking from this point to that point, it's gonna take more time. If I bend the space-time from this point to that point, it's gonna be like a matter of second, and there's a hole.
That's interesting. But I have no idea how can you apply this in space or how does this theory...
That's a white hole theory, actually, like similar to black holes. Black holes are void, and the white holes are actually, like, it's called a wormhole as well.
So what do you think about all of this AI technology coming into the, regular people lives?
I think we have to adapt for it.
And how it can help space exploration?
The biggest plus point is going to be the rockets. The expensive rockets are going to be, even more becoming more cheaper.
And autonomous?
More autonomous. And also we can use this, instead of humans, we can just send more robots. And also for Mars, building
robots,
Mars. Yeah. Building Mars.
You think robots would build Mars, not people?
We can try, That's a quite big possibility, because robots are equally capable as humans right now.
In what way?
In lifting weights or in any kind of physical work, they are better than humans, and they can follow commands.
Really? I've never seen any construction site with robots.
Not once, but have you seen the video with Boston Dynamics where the robot tries to, balance itself, tries to carry some things?
I've seen some Boston Dynamics videos, and maybe I've seen the one you're saying.
And also there are like small rovers, and we can also use some artificial cranes to build them. I was also trying to publish a paper about 3D printing in Mars using like a crane, like crane-like structure to use to build them, like with a 3D printer. We can 3D print using the Martian soil. That is a quite a big possibility for 3D printing.
I mean, yeah, if you put it this way, to build a civilization on Mars using 3D printing,
Yeah, it's
Is that something realistic that's being spoken?
Yeah, NASA also funds these kind of projects actually, 3D printing using other planets' soil. Like they also have the simulations of 3D printers which can be used in other planets.
So do you think we'll colonize Mars in the time that you or me are alive?
I would give a 50-50 because of this radiation issues which is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if we have a plan B, and if Elon tries to go on with this other idea of nuking the Mars.
I heard that.
Actually, I had a t-shirt with Nuke Mars. Maybe I should have worn
Maybe
it.
you should have. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it when I was around on the last Mars convention when they were just trying to talk about this. I just got a Nuke Mars as t-shirt as well. Because, like, let's say if we are nuking Mars, it's going to take like a time period of 25,000 years to make it habitable.
You also have a podcast, by the way. So,
yeah.
By the way, people that are watching you, where can they find you? If they want to get in touch with you.
They can find me in Spotify. They can write me on Instagram, Giri, _Giri, or they can write me in Facebook on my full name, Girinath Anandhan. Quite hard to spell, but I think Alex will include my socials somewhere in the podcast. Or
yes,
yeah,
yes, I will do. I'll include everything.
Yeah,
and so, what else would you like to send a message to the people that are listening to you?
I would like to say that work on your dreams and never give up. Just focus on what you believe in. They're gonna say it's not possible. If they say it's not possible, just put your heads down, work on it, and show them it's possible.
So do you think is there a possibility that, for example, one day in Lithuania there will be a rocket building site?
Maybe sometime soon.
I think Lithuanians, they know how to build ships.
Yeah, Lithuanians are really, talented and they work really hard. And I think it's really possible when we have more interested people to build these kind of rockets. And if anyone is interested to work on any kind of project related with space, feel free to reach me out. That's what I would say, because it's really quite hard to find the similar-minded people in Lithuania.
But maybe kids. I know some kids are watching, and many of the kids, they don't know what to do. And obviously for them, space would be, something very enthusiastic to get into. So maybe the future generation that's on the rise could be your target audience.
Yeah, they're also our target audience. I would advise them to join our space community, Cosmobus, and try to create a free account. The account is totally for free. And they can get connected with any other person across the globe in space industry. Like they will be an entrepreneur or a teacher. They can be a mentors, like they can just talk with each other and they can be a mentor and they can just work on some school projects together. And even if they need any kind of assistance or help, we guys are here to help as well from Cosmobus team. So yeah.
So what is the last thing you would like to ask Lithuanian government to do something for space?
I would say,
because it's the government that needs to really cooperate, right? As you said, Elon Musk was traveling a lot. Because if all governments say no, there's just, they're not going to invest, not going to care.
Yeah. The first thing I would advise government is maybe we need more activity in Lithuanian Space Agency,
So what does it mean? We need more people to do what? To talk to you?
We need more people to talk and make it more international as well, because space is not about one country. It's a combination of every country and every entrepreneur.
So it unites.
It unites.
It's not dividing.
Yeah, space is for all.
Space is for all. Beautiful. That's the way to end. So thank you very much, Giri, for coming. It was a pleasure talking to you a lot.
Thank you.
So actually, we have some gifts for you, Giri. First one will be from Chaz Chips. So these are one of the coolest chips you're gonna ever find. I mean, the flavors definitely.
I have tried it actually.
This one?
Coolest one, yeah.
Yeah? Okay, but you definitely didn't try this one.
Oh, yeah. I've never tried this one.
Do you want to go for it? Yeah. Let's try.
Go for this, actually.
It's actually spicy, but you're Indian, so you should be able to eat it no problems. You guys eat spicy there, no?
Yeah, but it's been years and years, almost 7 years in Lithuania, so might
what?
be my spice buds don't work.
Spice buds don't work? Let me try one as well. I mean, they can get spicy.
It's burning already.
Yeah. Ooh, this could be the hardest.
God.
You miss Indian food here.
Now I have the flavor, you know.
One more gives while you're trying to finish the chip. Oh, I'm actually almost crying again. So we have from Human Performance. I see, Giri, that you like to exercise. I saw pictures on
Thank you so
Instagram.
much, yeah.
So if you want to fly to the Mars one day, you have to get strong. And BCAA.
Thank you. I was about to buy something, you know.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah.
No. That's all. That's
Thank
all
you
for
so
today. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.